Hello, welcome to the Jellyfish Journals. My name is Susie, and in today's video, I'm gonna kind of show you my teacher planner. Now, I debated back and forth about this because it's really tricky to show how you use a teacher planner once you're actually using it because of privacy issues. And obviously I put my student names in here and the name of my school in here and all of those things. But I thought it might be helpful to at least show how I set it up at the beginning of the year. And also I'm really happy with this planner that I found on Amazon this year. And so just if any of you are looking for a way to mix it up or you're trying to figure out how do I want to start out the year, this might be helpful to you. Now, I am very much let me say it this way. I show up early to work because I like the quiet in the morning to get myself started, but I leave as soon as I can at the end of the day. I very much know, trust me, I've been teaching about 20 years now. I know we are not paid to work over the summer. We are not paid to work after hours. But if you've watched my channel for a bit, then you know I love planning. And this and setting this up during the summer is actually relaxing and enjoyable for me. And so this does not feel like a chore. It's also one of those things where having it set up in advance means that when we get started on day one with our first faculty meeting before students arrive, it's ready to go. It's ready for me to take notes. It's ready for all the things that I know I'm going to need to put in here. So having said all that, please don't leave comments below about how I shouldn't be working in the summer. I have learned what works for me. I've learned what makes me happy and brings me more peace at the beginning of what is always a very chaotic beginning to a school year. And so, yeah, so let's take a look. First of all, this one is, I don't know who makes this, and I'm so sorry, it's probably on the inside. It just says weekly lesson plans on the front, and it's got this beautiful silver, it's got this beautiful silver floral design. Aqua is my favorite color. I do try to theme my planner with my classroom theme, which is going to be bees and daisies this year. I could not find one I liked, so I went with my favorite color. This first part is just like a clear sheet, which is nice. It's going to protect it really well. I have used a Happy Planner teacher planner in the past. The discs were just big. Even, I know you can get smaller discs, but they just kind of caught on everything. The other thing I learned about myself is I just love to one-handed be able to pick this up and flip it. And if you've used a Happy Planner disc planner, you know that it doesn't always flip that smoothly. This is going to be totally trashed by the end of the year. It always is. So I at least try to start it out pretty at the beginning of the year. And having a spiral that's easy and light. This is super thin, by the way. I don't like a giant bulky planner. It is bigger than my previous planners. This one is actually from 2 years ago. And you can see I had an ocean theme that year. This is honestly a preferred size for me. You can see I made my own tabs that year, but I didn't realize how big this one was, but I think it's going to be fine. I really do. I'm not worried about that. Oh, I forgot one more thing. So sorry, I keep walking away because I forgot to be prepared. I did purchase this Happy Planner big sticker sheets when they had that massive sale a few weeks ago. And the reason I liked this one is all the stickers are kind of neutrally greens and browns and, well, there's gold and there's it's like a gunmetal color. Like, I wouldn't even call it silver. It's like when you buy a car and they have that darker gray or darker silver and they call it gunmetal gray. It's like that. And I hope nobody's upset that I said the word gunmetal, but that is what I think the color's called. So I did purchase this sticker book. I love it. You're going to see some of these black and whites I colored in this planner. Not to like push Happy Planner, but these cracked me up. Gold star, finished grading, didn't cry, took attendance. That one is a big one for me. I tend to forget if anything jars my morning, I forget. Survived parent conference, ate lunch on time, took a day off. They're just fun. So you're going to see these stickers throughout. And I tried to do that so that everything's kind of cohesive throughout, fully well knowing this, again, will be trashed by the end of the year. So the first thing, oh, and it has this cool pocket in the front, which I love. I think this is my first teacher planner ever with a pocket in it. I'm super excited. Oh, it's a double-sided pocket. I didn't even know that. Happy day. So the first thing I did, which this probably would have been helpful, but this was the company's logo under here. I didn't want that to be the first thing I saw when I opened up every time. So I did use some of the stickers from here to create a little thing. It says Gold Star Didn't Cry. And I just noticed this is a Blue Sky planner. I'll link it down below so you don't have to worry about it. Now, some of these things you're going to see that I cover, I don't use, I will never use. A lot of these I also keep totally blank because I will take, let's say my student sends me a fun sticky note. I'm going to stick that down on there. If a parent writes me an email that's really sweet and uplifting, I will print that out. If I get observed and the observer leaves a nice note. So sometimes I fill this with like positivity. I will never use this. So some of these I leave blank on purpose, but you're going to see some of the other pages at the beginning of this that I know I will never use. I've printed up other sheets and covered. This planner came with holidays, special dates, and student birthdays. Obviously, I haven't written any student birthdays in here yet, but that's what I'm going to do in these empty spaces. I just went through and I kind of highlighted all the fun ones. I didn't highlight the everyday holidays like Christmas or, you know, whatever, Valentine's Day. I know when those are. I highlighted the ones that I thought my students might love or that I could use to push academia. So for example, read a book day. I will make sure on September 6th, let's hope it's a school day now that I'm thinking about it. But if it is, I will make sure that we take time to read a book that day. There's actually a lot of literacy ones in here. You know, this one's Write to a Friend Month. So sometime in December, I will have my kids write a letter to a friend of theirs. So I'm trying to like be more intentional with tying in like everyday fun or worldly fun in with my lessons. I chose these two colors. They're both mild liners. This one I called Haystack and this one I called Smoky Teal, but I just learned the real names are on there. Oh my goodness, I cannot. Okay, this one is actually called Gold. It is so tiny, guys. And this one is called Smoke Blue. So I was pretty close calling it Smoky Teal. But these are the two colors you're going to see that I use throughout the entire planner. Like I said, I'll write student birthdays down here or team members' birthdays or just other things that come up, and hopefully this will help. I will use this when I am setting up my classroom calendar. So I know I will turn to these pages and I will use them. I have a giant whiteboard wipe-off calendar, and I will use this to help me set that up at the beginning of every month. It's proven to be quite useful for my students, and it's something I've done for a few years now. All right, this page is for individual student notes or parent meetings. I've never actually done this, but I've always wanted to just make notes of things and interactions I've had with parents. My concern is I will fill this up probably by December. I would not use this for parent conferences because we have a conference with every family at the beginning of the school year, or like a couple months into the school year. But kind of like those side notes, like if I send an email commending a student or send an email about a concern about a student, something like that. I don't know too much yet. But I kind of left it blank. I'm going to see what I decide to do, but I've always wanted to do this. So let's see what I can do. And just like in any other planner, I can always tape another piece of paper on here and make a flip out, like something like that if I need to, or I don't know yet. This one, I found this chart. I think it was on Teachers Pay Teachers. And I'm going to zoom in real quick, try to make it a little easier. And I should have written them in. I'm trying to think of what I could do. I think I have 12 jobs in my classroom, which sounds like a lot, but it's a system I've used for years. It really works for me. Some jobs are for 2 students. They get paid class cash when they do their jobs. But I try to make sure that they're not doing the same job over and over because I will mess that up and forget. So I'll put student names down here, the jobs up here, and then once the student has been assigned a job, I just cross off the box. I've used this system for a few years now. It works well for me. It is a lot of work, I'm not gonna lie, but I don't know, my kids, I've never had a class that didn't love that they have jobs to do and didn't love seeing their popsicle stick in the little job chart. So I'm also happy, I might regret this, but I'm happy to do a classroom tour once my classroom is set up. If you are curious about that, this is not like a teaching YouTube channel. It's not about my classroom. But if you're kind of curious what I do and how those things work, leave a comment down below. I'm a little wary of that. I don't know yet. I'm gonna have to think on that. But I could zoom in on my jobs and show you how that system works. If you're interested, I can do a video on that. This is one of the stickers. I just colored it in with smoky teal and another sticker from there. I also printed up a couple of lists. So I printed this one and then I cut and pasted things to make these. I want to keep track of who's been the star student, because what I do is I will pick the first star student and then that one on Friday picks the next one and so on. So they love to see a nice list that tells them who's already had a turn. This is like for our behavioral reward system at our school. I usually do 4 students a month, and by May I'm out of students, so that's that. This is going to be for my seating chart. All I did was I glued down white copy paper. I think this was, yeah, I can see it through there, the July calendar. I don't need that, so I covered it up. What I'm going to do with this, I did this last year. I don't like pre-planned seating charts because I arrange my desks the way I like them to be. But I do try to mix it up throughout the year, as I'm sure most teachers do. You set it all up and then realize, hey, this kid and this kid cannot sit together, or this kid really needs a friend or a support system. So I'm going to make sure somebody kind sits nearby that will include them and love them. So August, September, the desks pretty much stay the same while I get to know the students. I'll change them up in October. November, December, that's usually kind of shorter because of all the holidays. Change it up for the new year, change it up for February, March, and April. By May, I let the kids put the desks wherever they want. I teach 3rd grade, by the way, in case I didn't say that at the beginning. So I will let the kids pick where they want in the month of May. And so basically what I will do with this is I will draw out my desks. I might even design it and print it and just glue it on here. I haven't decided. It doesn't take me long to draw them out. And then I just write down the kids' names. And that way I can, I don't know, this is where maybe my ADHD kicks in. I don't want a kid, so like my classroom door is here and I have windows here. I don't want a kid to always be sitting with their back to the classroom door facing the window. I know kids, and I know that sometime that kid's gonna wanna sit on this side of the room and see what the room looks like in that direction. So I just try to make sure I keep it fun and lively for them. All right, extra pages, they have July in here, and then we're gonna move into August, and I'm gonna show you real quickly, I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on this, how I decorated them because it makes me happy to see decorations, and just what I marked. And just keep in mind, I am using these 2 markers and this sticker book in the whole thing, okay? So if you see something you like, it's either these markers or this sticker book. So pretty much for every month, I boxed off with smoky teal whatever needs to catch my attention, highlighted with yellow, and then I labeled it with a everyday black Papermate flare. So sorry, there is a 3rd thing in there. I added some little fun stickers that I colored using those same colors, and I just tried to slap some stickers here and there. I also took smoky teal and haystack, and every month you'll see I alternated, and I just highlighted every other line in this notes section, and that's really just to add a little color to the page. I will typically use pencil only in this notebook. But as important things come up, like conferences or field trips or, an IEP meeting or 504 meeting or faculty meeting or whatever, those things will probably have some color on them. That way it's easier for me to notice them and see them when we're planning our lessons and stuff as a team. I have not written anything in the weekly pages yet, so there's not much to see here, but I personally love the days going down the left and my subjects across the top. I like reading my day from left to right. I know that's not everybody's style. It seems most teacher planners have the dates across the top and subjects down the side so that you actually read your day going down. I know that's a preferred method for 2 of the teachers on my team. One of the other ones, she does her planning digitally. I was a little traumatized by that when I taught in Florida for a long time, so I prefer to handwrite it. I don't want to type anything else, and so I don't like doing it on the computer, but that's how she does her planning. We have a new teacher coming to our team, and I don't really know how she likes to do her planning, but this works well for me. I may have to give that up in the future because, like I said, it seems most planners have it across the top, the dates across the top, and the subjects on the side. I have done it that way before. It didn't bother me. I've just learned I like reading my day left to right. So, all right, moving on to September. Same thing. You'll see I highlighted here with the yellow, with the haystack, added some color to stickers, and just added a little bit of fun things to make me smile. Oops, I went too far. Cute little backpack here. I also tried to mix up, I learned this the hard way one year. So you're going to see here, like sometimes there's a sticker at the bottom and sometimes there's a sticker in the middle or at the top. One year in a planner, I put all the stickers at the bottom and then that whole bottom of my notebook got really chunky. Not a big deal. It was just one of those things I was like, I should probably spread out the love a little bit. Moving on, here's a nice big one. I had blank days here, so it was an opportunity to use a nice big one. Thanksgiving break. I spelled Thanksgiving wrong. Dude, that's my favorite holiday too. Thanksgiving. Okay, well, it's kind of lame, but I don't want to white it out. So, and then this is just my thing. I always wobbly arrow things. This I thought would be good to put here, due this week. There's always like important stuff that has to be finished the week before Christmas break or winter break. So that's on there. I like the broken pencils. I don't know why they crack me up. I almost never end up with broken pencils in my classroom. Missing erasers, yes. Broken tips, yes. Chewed on pencils, yes. But I've almost never, ever, ever seen a broken pencil in my classroom in all my years of teaching. That's kind of crazy. Coming back in January, I put coffee stickers. I don't really like hot coffee, but I figured it was kind of funny. Like, hey, it's after break. Let's wake up and get back to work. So, got a little cute calculator sticker here. Again, I had some blank days at the bottom of February. Another due this week. That's with a teacher work day, no school. It just was one of those things where it was like, well, there's probably something going to be due. And it's not like these will go missing. I will find something to put in there. If you've ever seen my planner videos, you know I decorate first and I figure out what I'm going to throw in it later. On to March. We've got our spring break, just a little reminder box. I loved the globe. I debated coloring the water, but I really wanted the outside to be that smoky teal so it contrasted with the yellow lines here. So that's how that ended up. It's also kind of nice because these are not really going to take away from whatever's written on here. I meant to say that. I bought, hold on. I know I'm far away again, sorry. I actually bought this sticker book to do my planner with. This is from Michaels, and I love this sticker book so much. I just love how fun everything is. Look at that pretty schoolhouse at the bottom. I love how all the colors go together. There's some glittery ones. I just thought this was so fun, but here's the thing. I know myself, and these things will catch my eye. I wanted this stuff to kind of fade in there, so it's there, but I want my notes to take precedence. So these, okay, this is kind of weird. Some of those stickers are on clear backing. if you can see that. And so I actually took those same markers and I colored on the sticky part of the clear backing and then just stuck them down. So that's why they're kind of like scritchy or scratchy. But I don't know, it's kind of like something different I've never done before. I'm happy to show that technique sometime. I don't even know if I'd call it a technique. I just really wanted color on there, and I knew the color would not stick to the top of like that clear plasticky stuff. And then finally, this is May, which is always crazy, always got a lot going on. More pencils. This is Saturday, so that's why I didn't mind if that went over a little bit, but had a little bit of fun for the end of the school year, and that's pretty much it. This has June in it. I won't need June, so again, more pages in my mind. I will either tape these together like this. Sorry, I will either just tape it together so it's not a pain, or I will use these for other things like I did at the beginning. I will just paste a paper over the top of it and use it for whatever I need to. I might make these note pages. I just haven't decided yet. And this one, I'm trying to think of what else was in here that was kind of useful. So this has, see, like it has this page for a seating chart. This wouldn't work for me for the full year. I will probably cover that up and do something else here. Maybe team meeting notes or something. Equivalence and conversion tables. I don't really need this, but it's kind of cool. And sometimes the kids ask me these questions and I'm Googling it because I don't remember. I teach 3rd grade. And then this one's kind of cool. States and capitals. I'll have to find markers. It'd be cool if this was more colorful, but maybe I'll just put some stickers around it. But sometimes this could be useful to put under my document camera and show the kids because they always want to know where I used to live, which was down here in South Florida. They want to know where some of my friends live and where I'm vacationing and things like that. So I know some of you might be thinking, oh my goodness, that must not be a great planner if she had to do so much to tweak it and make it her own. But guys, I'm going to tell you, it would not matter which planner I bought. It truly would not. Whatever planner I bought, I promise you, I would have done stuff to it to make it feel like mine. So I will link this down below. I can link mild liners down below and try to see if those colors are in there if you happen to like that. I'll link this book down below if it's still available on Happy Planner. I think they're still doing 40% off, so maybe this is part of that. Please leave me any comments or questions down below, and hopefully this is helpful. I know I watched a few teacher planner videos just to see what other people do, so hopefully this is a little bit helpful or motivational, or if I made you curl up into a ball and cry because you're a fellow teacher and we're almost there, I'm so sorry. Go get a Starbucks or a Slurpee and go put on a good movie, all right? Don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a great day. Bye.